Learn a little something. Take a lesson. Learn it all.
Before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to all the dorky diggity goodness on the channel. And if you want to see more, click on that notification button. Now enjoy the video. Welcome back, guys. We are talking about that Combat Clash Chapter 2 and my team and why, and a few of the tips and tricks, strategies, and techniques that I used in order to complete it, and I only used to revive. So let's go ahead and see what I did. Now, first things first, I did boost up quite a bit. I had a 30% attack and health expiring in my stash, so I used that. I used a 20% attack and a 25% health to really push this along. So here we have our team. We've got Archangel, Quake, Spider-Man, Stark and Hans, of course, and Ronin and Hawkeye. Now, you're probably wondering why I have Hawkeye on the team. While he's a fantastic champ, he is a rather low-level champ, and so is Ronin, at least in this particular team. Now, Hawkeye is there just for synergy purposes. So basically, he completes the synergy with Quake that adds 15% ability accuracy to the entire team, and this is very important for a couple of reasons. One, taking Archangel into the battle is going to increase his ability to bleed, to poison, and to drop neurotoxins, and that's an extra 15%. It doesn't sound like much, but it does make a difference. The next one up is going to be Stark and Hans Spider-Man, and he also gets affected by having a higher chance to play shock whenever he launches his SP2, so that helps him out as well. The only place it doesn't help out as much is with Ronin, because he has a greater chance to proc that Fury, and if he procs Fury, then he's also going to be proccing that power gain on Kamala Khan, which can be troublesome. So each one of these champions is brought in for a particular reason. Archangel I brought in for Black Widow. Now, as you know, it's very hard to parry her, and Archangel fits the bill because his ability accuracy cannot be decreased at all, so he gets guaranteed parries against Black Widow, which is perfect for his heavy attack and dropping neuros. Now, she also has a crazy amount of power gain as well, so you have to be very selective with your heavy attacks. So what I did was I made sure to get a bleed on one heavy attack, and then I parried all the other attacks until I got myself a poison, and that's the only time that I would put another heavy attack. Now, of course, you've got to pray to the RNG gods to make sure that you can get maybe more than one neuro at a time. Sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't, but that is the strategy that's going to win for you. Now, while parry may not have changed, the AI definitely has, and it knows how to get in on you to get that block damage. So be very careful because she hits very, very hard. So missed parries are a detriment. And work on your intercepting skills or your keep away skills, whichever one works best for you. Now, Quake I use for Miss Marvel and for Rogue. Both of them have Aspect of War, which gives them unstoppable after using a special, which made it very easy because you just bypass all that stuff by playing a touchless game with Quake. Quake and Bake. Now, for Rogue, you have Brawl on top of Aspect of War, so it seems like she is going unstoppable for the entire match. Now, I know you can hit into her block and that the block damage is a lot more, but she doesn't really give you all that many opportunities, and not everybody has a Corvus, and of course not everybody has a Quake, but I do, and this is what I did. So effectively, we've nullified Brawl and we've nullified Unstoppable by playing that touchless game. Quake here is absolutely priceless. Stark and Hans Spider-Man I brought in specifically for Iron Man Infinity War. Now, I had a very particular strategy with him, and that was to build up poise by using the bank method. If you haven't used banking before or don't know what that is, go ahead and check this video out. But it worked out very well. I was able to build the poise, return some attack, stay on the wall, and as soon as I had enough poise, I was able to get in and do some damage. Now, a very key component here is taking him right below his SP1 because I didn't want Iron Man Infinity War to be firing off his specials and then gaining Aspect of War. So to get around this, I wanted to make sure to dex that first attack and then parry the second, because as you know, you can't parry his first attack unless you have Proxima or something like that. So I wanted to make sure that I had a guaranteed parry and a guaranteed opportunity to drop a heavy attack and drain him. This way we kept him away from that Aspect of War, and it made the fight a lot smoother. Now, this worked to varying degrees. Sometimes I forgot to do it, and other times the AI wasn't so willing to participate. The Ronin that I used is a rank 2 5-star, so basically he's the equivalent of a rank 4 4-star, but that doesn't really matter because he has Edict. Now, Edict is his signature ability, and what that does is increase his attack per buff on the opponent, as well as increase the stun by a particular amount based on your level per buff as well. So you are basically stun locking them into oblivion. And it's nice to have that on the opposite end for once. So this becomes a very, very easy fight if you can land that SP1 quickly. Now, one trick that I used is that I didn't finish off my combos when she got close to her SP1, so I backed off and then went back in so that I would complete my SP1 first and then continue the assault. And as you can see, Kamala has no shortcomings of buffs, and matter of fact, there is a plethora of buffs on her, so this makes him perfect for this match. Now, like I said, because of that increased ability accuracy, you have a higher chance to proc a Fury. Once you proc Fury, that power flood is coming on in through that spite, so you have to be very, very careful about that, because once she launches a special, she goes unstoppable. You have to be able to intercept in that whole line. So guys, this was my team. It doesn't have to be your team, but this was the team that I picked, and this was why I picked them. They worked out very, very well. Now, one of the main things that I did was I didn't go for a day one completion. I really wanted to learn this. I wanted to use the least amount of resources possible. I used 2 40% revives, and I farmed up everything else from Winter Soldier. I believe I used somewhere around 60 potions total, with a couple of team potions as well, but that was all done for free, just grinding in Winter Soldier. I'll have a video about that coming up soon. And the other thing I did was I continued to run one line over and over and over again until I felt completely comfortable with the fight, and then I went boosted up and took on the challenge. But guys, that is it. So hopefully you liked the video, it helped you out, and if it did, go ahead and share it with your friends, share it with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Learn a little something. Take a lesson. Learn it all.